Good evening and welcome to my show. I'm Dr. Natalie Woods with Nata Woods and Friends. How many of you know that when you are married that you and your spouse are one? Let's think about that. When I first got married and we were going over the vows, and at the end of the ceremony, my pastor said that you're no longer individuals, that you are one. I heard the words, but I did not realize how important that is. You become one flesh. And of course, we literally don't become one, but in so many ways, in so many things that you do, and so many things that you're not even aware of as a single person, that once you come together, you are literally one. And the Bible says that you become one flesh. Well, one of the things that has helped me, even in the counseling, especially when people come in with issues where they think one thing that they do is not affecting the other, even in their decisions. When you make a decision, and of course, if you're already married, you know this, but you are making a decision for you and your spouse, or it affects you and your spouse. Whether you may say, well, I'm just doing this is me and my thing, but it affects the other person. And I remember early on in my relationship or in my marriage, where I might even say to another friend who's married, and I might tell the husband, if we went on, let's say, a trip together, I might say, well, thank you for allowing so and so to travel or to do whatever. And I remember saying this to um, a friend as she rode with me to Memphis, and when we got back, I thanked her husband for allowing her to go, and both of them had a reaction, and they said, allowing me to go. He didn't let me go, and he was kind of feeling the same way. Well, what I've learned, whether or not the person agrees to you going, first of all, you don't want to go anywhere if both people are not in agreement. Then, if, let's say, you do go and the person doesn't want you to go, then when you are back together, that's going to create an unpleasant situation. So, whether the person literally allows you to go, your decision affects both of you, and it affects the relationship. So no matter how you look at it, whether and again, if the person saying, well, I really don't want you to go, unless that person says, and this is for both people, unless the person says, I really don't want you to go, but you have my blessings, or you have blah blah blah, that's different. But if you go and the person said, I don't want you to go, or whatever the case may be, then that's going to create an unpleasant environment. Well, the other way that we have to look at it, whatever you do, let's say in a case of abuse, whatever people are doing to the other person, you're doing that to yourself. If you are one, then whatever you do to the other person, you're doing it to yourself. And I think that may be a better way to look at this. And hopefully no one is in an abusive relationship that's hearing this. But I think for me that was a good way to put it, because I've had people who've come into a counseling session, and the one party was abusive physically or emotionally or mentally, but I think it's easier to see if it was a physical abusive situation. And I said to that person, if you are putting your hands on that other person, you're doing that to yourself. Oftentimes, when people are abusive or abusing someone, they have themselves been abused. So remember that saying, hurt people hurt people. But the point is, when we get married and we enter into that covenant, into that agreement before God, we are saying that we are one in our decisions, and we are one. So, again, you may want to look at whatever I do to you, I'm doing to myself. So, if I'm doing something that's not pleasant to you, because a lot of times we say, well, I'm doing it to me, so I'm not doing it to the other person, but really you are. So, we have to start looking at whatever you do to your spouse, you're really doing to yourself. And I think if we take out the time to think, okay, how would this affect my relationship? How would this affect my husband? Or how would this affect my wife? Then we will realize that I might not need to do this because I'm no longer single. I have more, I have to worry about the other person. Before, as a single person, you pretty much, unless you have children, you only have yourself to take in consideration. But when you are married and when you have a family, you have to look at it differently. So, again, whatever you do for yourself or to yourself, you're doing it to the person also. So, when you're making a decision, especially if you're not clear on the decision, then ask yourself, would I like this to be done to me? Is this going to affect me? Is this going to affect my husband or my wife? Whatever the case may be, because we are one. And you want to have that mindset where you are one. Give me a call. Give me feedback on this segment. Remember, when you make the decision, and if you've already made the decision, we might want to renew the vows. And I don't mean go out and have a ceremony, but you may want to renew as you're renewing your mind. Then you may want to have a new way of thinking about marriage, especially for those who are not married yet. Think about the decisions you make. And I know this may sound very simple, but I think we get into situations because we don't necessarily see ourselves as one unit. We see ourselves as individuals, and we are individuals, but we have become one. So, again, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to email me or to hit me up on Facebook. My email address is natawoods@yahoo.com, and that's NATA woods@yahoo.com. Again, I am on Facebook, and I also have a website, which is www.natawoods.com. And you can also view the videos or the clips on YouTube. Go search under Nata Woods or Dr. Natalie Woods or Dr. Nata Woods, I'm sorry. But have a great day or evening, whichever one it is, and I will talk to you soon. Take care. Thank you.